People cheated on their therapists who have dealt with this personality before. We are in therapy. When I described the below situations that happened to my husband, the therapist said there are a certain type of persons out there, mainly women, who she has encountered in her sessions with other couples that are the other person who men cheat with. She says the female is possibly narcissistic and unbalanced, so she requires attention in an abnormal way. My question is, with your experience with a cheating spouses, could this be true what my therapist is saying? I'm trying to wrap my head around it because she, therapist, is saying it's common and I shouldn't be as upset at him that he was tricked and is kind of the victim too, which confuses me. Need to add, he says there was not physical intimacy or attraction per husband. She told him within first 2 weeks working in the office that she was bisexual and waited for his reaction. She also spoke of whoring herself out to gain housing and again waited for reaction. She sent numerous pictures of herself to him, over 25 that I found, possible inappropriate ones included her in hospital gown after procedure, separate picture was of her bed. She works in the health industry as a PA, physician's assistant, and noticeably flirts with staff and patients. Update 11.30.2022. A week ago, we had a bad fight. It started with me trying to talk some things I had questions about his interaction with her. Somewhere, I started hitting my own head with a cell phone, I know that I need help. He lunged at me to make me stop and my reflex was to put my knee up to his stomach area, he's had minor surgery lately. I told him it was a reflex and I didn't mean to hurt him. Things escalated and I dialed her number. He slapped the phone out of my hand and slapped me. I dialed it again and he slapped me again. Said I was embarrassing myself and him. I don't know what to think. 1 minute he's trying to protect me and then when I tried, stupidly, to bring her into the fray, he hit me. A week later, now, I asked him why he hit me. He can't answer other than to say he didn't want me or him to look stupid in front of her. I'm at such a loss. I told him, you don't hit people you love if you're trying to protect them and what he's saying doesn't make any sense. Get a new therapist. I had 3 just like her. My 36M girlfriend, 35F, met someone at a club 4 months ago and emotionally cheated on me while we had big issues in our relationship, then dumped me shortly after and dated him, then we got back together and had a wonderful time for 4 months until I found out. Me, 36M, and my girlfriend, 35F, has been together for 9 months. After the initial honey period, it started to get a little bumpy, we were broken up for a few weeks after 2 months, when got together again. The emotional connection and intimacy we're in is great. She is a caring, beautiful, feminine, kind woman. I also do my best to be the best man for her. We both admit that we have a great chemistry when being together, one of the rare instances we both had in a long time. At the same time, we had some issues, like differences in our extroversion, me being more on the introverted side. Also, had some incompatibility with her family, but step by step it seems they have accepted me and I managed to start some good relationships with her folks. Also, she is that kind of outgoing and very extroverted woman with a huge social circle, lots of best guy friends and spontaneous and, in my opinion, over-the-top behavior. For example, she thinks it is okay to go out with another guy on a clubbing spree and get home drunk at 5 a.m. I am always invited, but when I can't come for some reason, I expect her to stay with me and set up a party next time. This is coming probably partly from my insecurities and from my more right-leaning upbringing and values. We struggled with boundaries a lot at first, I was the one who tried to set them up and she was reluctant to accept. We had an additional couple short-term breakups, not longer than a few days, where she would pack her stuff and leave my house. We usually start messaging each other soon after, get back, have great sex, and everything seems to go back to normal. For around 3-4 months now, it seemed we managed to overcome our differences and had no falling outs whatsoever. Everything was super great. I felt secure, happy, she felt she was allowed to do whatever she wants, even alone or with her girlfriends, unless it involved some of her guy friends. We negotiated and agreed on our boundaries. It looked like we managed to build a strong bond and overcome the issues we had, we started to plan our future. Until yesterday. I saw a message pop up on her phone, some guy was texting he missed her. I asked who he was and she was reluctant to say anything at first. After some time she disclosed that around 4 months ago, when we were kind of broken up and got back together in 5 days, she went on a date with this guy. This kind of wouldn't be that big of a deal for me, we were technically broken up. The issue is, she met this guy around a week ago before they actually dated. At that time, we were on good terms, she was living at my place, and honestly, I did not notice anything unusual in her behavior. She went on a girls' night out with her girlfriend on another city and met 2 guys, one of them was the one who texted her yesterday. She said since we were on and off for quite some time, she felt insecure about our relationship and whether I am the man of her life she wants a family with. To be honest, we did not specifically agree that we are officially a couple, change our FB status etc. Due to the initial issues she even asked me for more time for her to think when I proposed to get official, but we both verbally agreed that we are in monogamic relationships, we live together most of the time, we got to know each other's family and friends. So she met this guy at a club, she said he was so charming, funny, spontaneous and interesting. They partied all night, they went for a swim in the lake all four of them. She gave him her FB, he messaged her the next morning, and she invited to join them again at a music festival. When she got back home, to my house, she wrote to him that it would be good to meet him again and that she misses him already. She disclosed to him that she is in some kind of not official relationship with me and she is lost as to what to do because he is so amazing and her current relationship has issues. He tried to hit on her anyway. A few days passes by and we split up again, initiated by her quite abruptly, for some silly reason I do not even remember. For 5 days, during which she went on a date with this guy. She said there was no sex, just a kiss. So, after 5 days I miss her, message her, and she happily comes over as nothing ever happened. We had one additional 3 days split the next month, but it was the last one, and we actually managed to overcome most of our issues. It was really great now for 4 months. We officially agreed we are a couple, we changed our FB status. The issue is, she actively went into contact, flirting and activities with another guy on quite a romantic setting. She disclosed she is kind of taken, but did it anyway, as I waited for her at my home, where we lived, ate, watched Netflix, and had lots of sex just a day or two before or after her travel. She was actively seeking or accepting his attention through messaging and calls for the next week and, in my opinion, she broke up with me to date him. They had a date while we were broken up, but the romantic connection was set up during our relationship. As I understand she did not like him after all, she said he seemed overconfident, a little fake and arrogant, and had some misogynistic views about women. I started hating him but I financially carried him for many months before finding this out and he always agreed to pay me back but was shit with money. One day I had a talk with him and said that I should help him save, so I'll put away 100 of his money every pay into an account and I'll pay his bills for him and whatnot to get him back on track and give him allowance for food. He agreed, liking the help. I sure helped him, but that $100 bi-weekly was going into an account to pay me back. She seems to be or at least looks very troubled and says she loves me and sincerely wants to be with me and asks for forgiveness. She gave me all information on her phone or at least what was left undeleted. I know this is my speculation, but I feel insecure now. From what I saw, there are no evidence their romance got beyond the casual kiss she mentioned. I also saw lots of messages from other guys hitting, to which she casually replied that she is not interested. I also found she replied to her long-term ex around same time as she met the guy, they were together for 8 years, 6 years ago, and she cheated on him, they discussed some nostalgia, and she wrote she dreamt about him and missed him. This also added to my insecurities that I am just a backup plan for her and that she just uses me as a safe guy if something better won't come up. She is extra good to me now. She agreed to accept that she won't be able to join any parties or events without me for quite some time to not fuel my insecurities and make us split up again. She accepted to remove the guys from her FB or block them if they try to hit on her. She agreed she should not have any contact with other guys, except colleagues or old friends, and her communication style with others should not be so easygoing and always disclose her status as a woman already spoken for. She did everything that I think should be done to try and repair our relationships and reclaim my trust. But, at least for now, I can't stop thinking her emotionally cheating and flirting with some random dude she met at a club, despite that we had issues together. I feel betrayed and not respected, she accepts my feeling and says is willing to wait it out. Should I try to wait it out or her accepting advances from another guy is too much to accept as appropriate behavior, even if our relationship was semi-official and with issues. Find out my 36M girlfriend, 35F, met someone at a club 4 months ago and emotionally cheated on me and never told me. We had a wonderful time since and I am lost whether accept her mistake as it is and continue the relationship or break up as she can do it again. You and your girlfriend have been together for 9 months, in which 1, you guys broke off for a few weeks after first 2 months. 2, couple of more short-term breakups. 3, she cheated on you. 4, she had cheated on her ex with whom she was in long-term relationship. There are so many other things that clearly signifies that your relationship is doomed. You just need to realize that and move on your separate ways. Sorry to say but you sounds like a teenager who is too naive to realize this relationship isn't gonna work. So now she wants to be a good GF, if you just let her off the hook get ready for it to happen again, all the things she talked about the old ex she dreamt about him and missed him. This isn't a loving GF. You may really love her, but can you really say she really loves you when she did all this shit? Good luck. Oh, this video has come to an end. If you want more such cool stories, then go to one of the many following videos.